I'd like to introduce you to you, Cindy Ward, our technical recruiting manager. She'll be speaking today on these topics: your insurance requirements, simple profile tips, Mobi app tips, taxes, tech center, and we'll have a question and answer session at the end. If you have a question, please use the Q&A prompt up at the top of your windows and write them in, and we'll address them at the end of the webinar. And without further ado, handing off to Cindy Ward.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to get to talk to you again. A lot of you I've talked to over the last 4.5 years. First thing we're going to talk about is insurance requirements. I get a lot of texts that call me because they don't get work orders, and I think there's some misconceptions about why. So when you have insurance, you must have at least $1 million worth of coverage. With that, TechLink Services needs to be the certificate holder, not your company, not somebody else's company, and not be blank. We do not require workers' comp insurance, but in the system, you must have some kind of form. You either upload your own workers' comp insurance, or if not, then upload the documents, the workers' comp exemption form. That can be found at the Tech Center section. Now, here's a big thing that we get frequently: backdating a general liability or work comp document. We do not do that. So if you've gone out and done a work order or an accepted work order and you've completed it, and then all of a sudden you've discovered you've got that 1.5% fee on your work order, you're going to have to pay that fee. We do not go back and take that fee off just because all of a sudden you discovered it and said, oh, I've got insurance. Can I upload it now? And will you take that fee off? If you upload your insurance, moving forward, you won't be charged that fee, but you will be charged that fee moving forward. I give as an example, if the work order was worth $100, you'd be charged $1.50. So instead of being paid $100, you would be paid $98.50. But we do not cover you under our insurance. That fee does not cover you. If you want more information, we have put together a blog information, and you can look at that under the Tech Center. Simple profile tips. Here's a big one that I sent out an email last Friday. I discovered 384 techs who don't have skills in the system. It's really hard when a project manager is looking for a tech that has a specific skill needed on a work order and you don't have a skill listed in your system. You need a skill. You need to showcase what you can do and what you like to do. The other thing I remind techs is I try and update and refresh skills every 3 or 4 months. So it's in your best interest to go in, maybe if it's even once every 6 months, review the skills. As we get new clients, I will update skills. Quizzes. This is a big thing. You'll see me send those out. We send them out in the newsletters. The quizzes usually are pretty simple. They're going to be 7 to 10 questions. You have to get an 80%. If you don't get an 80%, I send you out a reminder that says, hey, you got a 70%. Go back and retake the quiz. You can see those reminders in the newsletter, and they're in the Tech Center. If you're not sure about a quiz, call me. We can talk through them. We can look at them. A lot of them will have information on the quiz when you're getting ready to take them. Submitting licenses. This is a big one. Are you an licensed electrician, a licensed low voltage person? Send me a copy of your license. I go out onto state websites and verify your license and put the date in. If you get them updated, then send me your new updated license. I will go into your skills section and I add that. That's a big one. We're always looking for licensed electricians and licensed low voltage people. Or maybe you're not licensed, but one of your technicians is. Send me a copy of their license and I'll mark that they have that skill. That puts you on the top of the pecking order when it comes to a work order that we need somebody with that skill set. Informing recruiting of any technician that's no longer employed with your company. That's a big thing. You know, we get a lot of companies that have techs that come and go. Let us know if somebody is no longer with your company. We will disable them in the system. There's no sense in having that extra clutter. Clean your system up. Access techs in the portal as restricted or unrestricted. A lot of times techs don't understand, or primary people don't understand what that means. If you are unrestricted in the system, that means somebody has full access to everything in the portal. Restricted means a tech only has access to the four corners of their account. Now, here's something that sometimes primary people don't understand. Say a primary person has everybody in their account as restricted, but they're getting ready to go on vacation for 2 weeks, and they don't want to lose access to work orders, but they don't want to manage it for 2 weeks. You could go in and maybe you designate somebody as a unrestricted person in the account. All that you have to do is go in, pick John Smith, click him as unrestricted. He's allowed to get those work orders floated to people in your account while you're on vacation for 2 weeks. He's able to accept the work orders, help schedule, work with the project manager while you're gone. Then when you get back, putting back as restricted. It's as easy as that. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility while you're gone. Ensure all restricted techs in the system have addresses. This is a big problem. You go in, you'll put a tech in. You give him his username, his password, you put his email, his phone number, you hit submit, you forget to go to the second page. He doesn't have an address. We can't find him. So he's in, let's say, Kansas City. A work order pops up, but the project managers don't know he exists because he doesn't have an address. So you've missed out on that work order. It's important. Also remind your techs, if they move, have them update their information. There's nothing worse than having a work order get floated out to a tech who no longer lives there. All techs must include a cell phone, not a landline and not an office number, and don't duplicate a phone number. There's nothing worse than having, 5 techs in a system and they all have the same phone number. A PM needs to get a hold of somebody and he's calling and he's got everybody in the system has the same phone number. It doesn't work. Simple profile tips. Things that make your account disappear. Poof! This is another issue. All of a sudden I get a call from a tech because he hasn't been getting work orders. Why is that? Your COI in your account expires. That means you go black. PM can't find you. Your work comp insurance, the date on it expires. A PM can't find you. You have no skills in your wheelhouse. PM can't find you. You're not taking quizzes that a client looks for. Did you go take the flow water? Did you take the Starlink? Did you take the digital signage anchoring? Those clients are looking for those quizzes and you haven't taken them. Take a few minutes. You could actually go in and take all 5 of the quizzes in 30 minutes. Easy peasy. Doesn't cost you anything but 30 minutes worth of time. The COI is usually the biggest one. You get a notification, I send you a notification. Update that information. That's the quickest way. Your insurance will also lead you up to the top of the crop. Mobi. Here's a big one. I get texts that'll call, you're having issues with your Mobi app. The easiest first thing to do, log out, log back in. The Mobi app has frequent updates, and if you haven't updated your app, you might get an error message. If you cannot remember your username or your password, call in and we'll give you that information. Don't reset or set up a new account if you get an error message that says your email is in use. You would be surprised how many people will forget what their username or password is. They try to log in, it says their email is in use, and they try and set up a new account. Call me. It's easy. Or email me. I had 3 this morning. They couldn't get in. They couldn't remember their password. I can verify their information. I just shot them back over a new password and boom, within minutes, they were back in the system. It's as easy as that. Taxes. Unfortunately, that's something none of us want to pay, but it's something we all have to deal with. If you move, you're going to get a notice from me that says we need to update your W-9. We may need to update your work comp exempt form because you may have moved from states. And if you've moved, we need to get updated COI. If you've moved and your banking information needs to be updated, that's a big one. I want to make sure you get paid. We also need to maintain accurate email and phone numbers. You would be surprised how many people change their email and don't tell us. That's a big one because at the end of the year, we need to mail you your tax information. You can't get notifications if you don't have an accurate email or phone number. If you change your taxpayer identification number, i.e., you started out in our system under a social security number and you went to an EID number, that means we're going to have to close out the first account and set up a new account in the portal. It's very simple. Just call me. We'll take care of it. The other big thing, when you're setting up your W-9, the first name on the line has to be the same name on the signature. You can't have John Doe on the top line and Mary Smith as a signature. They have to match. When you submit your work orders for payment, do it through the Mobi app, or if you're not sure, you can do it in the portal under the tab called Work Orders. If you need help, call, I'll walk you through it. Tech Center. Woohoo! I'm all about information. You all know it. If you log into the portal, down on the bottom left-hand side, you'll see the tab called Tech Center. You can order cable or anything you need supply-wise, and it doesn't have to be for TechLink. We've got manuals, you've got the quizzes, you need to update any of your forms, you have insurance questions, you need health and safety information, you want to know what kind of tools you may need, or our code of conduct. All you have to do is click in there. Everything you need. I keep that up to date and it's current. Got questions? Call. This is our question and answer section. Does anybody have any questions?
You can use the Q&A icon up and ask any questions that you might have. Oh, we just got one in. Does the 1.5% fee cover me for accidents?
No, does not. What that means is in essence a penalty for not carrying insurance. We do not cover you under our insurance.
See if we have any more. Oh, here you go. How many times can I retake a quiz?
You can take a quiz up to 3 times. If you take it and you fail it on the 3rd time, I'll call you and say, let's have a conversation. Let's figure out maybe that quiz wasn't the right fit for you.
Any more questions? All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up and say thank you all for joining. Appreciate your time. And this will be recorded and be able to share with your technicians. And thank you so much for attending. Bye now.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.